I love you too. You're just telling me she loves me. It's always nice to hear in the evening when it's close to playtime. You ready to play? Oh, she's a crazy clown. I wish you could see all that. We might get into that one day. But today, crazy hair, don't care, no makeup. I just wanted to share a few things. If you're interested in animal training of any sort, from my experience, these are one of the highly educated animals, and it's also pretty risky because the beaks. Where are you going? See if I'm still. She'll just do her flips back and forth. Are you having fun? I know you're a good girl, aren't you? Good girl. I start saying good girl, she'll get ready for some cuddles and some head scratches, and she'll flip over and want to do tummy tickle time. All right, back to our topic. If you would like to have a pet, and I would say any pet, since we have the opportunity to have YouTube and videos, there's so much you can learn. Even if you're a teen, young adult, what you doing? Looks like you're playing. Do you want to fly? Looks like you're playing. Okay. The way that, what I learned early on, I didn't realize I was so blessed at the time, but when we were able to buy a young filly for me to train, I was young, I think 7th grade, so maybe 12. I was a young girl, and I didn't have the internet. Imagine that. I guess you think I would be ancient compared to what we have in technology these days in education. The self-education aspect, if you really enjoy animals and you're just going to go for it, I would say is to learn everything you can. Because, in fact, you, as your owner, as you, having a companion of any sort, you're going to develop into continually being a trainer. And I got to experience this as, like I said, moving into my tween years, young teen years, of getting some lessons and learning from a master horse trainer that they taught me that I was going to grow into a horse trainer. If I didn't, I would continually have issues and problems with my horse, and it wouldn't be a safe team aspect that I was really shooting for. So I saw myself as a horse trainer, and I learned the ins and outs of what to do when they miss a cue and how to, like I would just say a small cue. Some people use where you squeeze the legs a little bit if you want them to go from a trot to a gallop or lope. I used a little tap with my foot. Initially, I used both. After my horse began to understand that that was the time that we were ready to shift gears and go ahead and move into a lope, then to choose which side for her to, they'll anyway, there's a certain side that you can cue them, and it's, you give them the opposite side if you want. So for a left, a small tap, and actually they become so sensitive to it if you can train regularly that when you begin to move your foot, it doesn't, in the boot, it doesn't have to even actually touch their skin. So in no way are you ever, or for my type of training, she's on the floor now, you're on the move. She doesn't do that very often, but it'll be fun. And I'm going to put my feet up so she would have to climb, because she loves to chew on my toes. And sometimes it's unexpected. Usually it's just sort of a lick and a nibble, but it could be a bite. So we're still in the learning phase. I want to share with you 3 different people that I follow on YouTube. I don't always catch their videos when they drop. Sometimes I'll catch a video and then kind of go back and see what I've missed. But there are 3 extraordinary bird trainers that teach from their unique styles and their unique personality. Teach quite a few. I'm trying to keep an eye on her. She's walking around in the pine shavings, so she'll probably come crawl up. Yeah, it looks like she's coming up. So let me tell you briefly. One guy and his wife, I believe their channel is Mackey the Macaw. So Mackey, the Macaw, which they have a gorgeous blue and gold macaw. His wife has one now. I've followed them for a while. They're from England, so you'll hear a nice little interesting accent if you're from this area. And I see them as having tons of courage, lots of experience. They do a lot of, like, almost daily taking their birds out, or 6 days a week, sometimes maybe just 5 days a week, and flying their birds to every park around. And they've had some interesting experiences. They've added Mia. It's another blue and gold macaw, and she was slower to learn a few things, and they're all unique. So if you like to follow people that have courage, that are fine throwing their bird up in the air and flying through the house, and that's not a concern of yours, that you like to progress and it might be your bird's personality, then I would say find them on the internet and follow them. They've become a production that's a higher level now, and they have their own crew, and it'll be engaging, informative, and it'll also be entertaining. Whereas in the early days, it was mostly more on the educational side, which is more my personality. I do enjoy their exciting new videos. So I'm going to say go for it, if that's what you're wanting. The second one, that was Mackey the Macaw, is the name of their channel on YouTube. Just type that in and you'll find them. Number 2, for the personality that is calm, very consistent. It's a safe, cautious way of training a bird. Then you'll find Smokey. Smokey's owner that will talk and explain things, they have been together for a good while. Smokey is, and he calls her Smokes a lot. Smokey is a, wow, how did this just go out of my mind when I could have said it? I know it's because the video's on. Smokey's an African Grey. So she's highly intelligent, if you know a lot about African Greys. Oh, Aki's going to stretch back there. That's cool. And I'll have to show you the little chick real quick. There's little chick. Hey, she's nervous coming up that high. It's okay, puppy. But she's really had a couple of chickens, and she became an only chicken child. So she's in the aviary, especially when it's cold. And she's interesting too. But let me get back to the topic. Mackey the Macaw, blue and gold, gorgeous creatures. I believe they're in England. I'm not sure. London, I don't know exactly. The second one you'll find is an African Grey, Smokey. And she's very intelligent. She talks a lot. Well, on cue. He is a diligent trainer. He will show you the ins and outs of the scientific side of it. I don't remember his name. I apologize. But the owner is a high school science, I believe it's science instructor. So he's methodical. His personality is intentional. You will find free, interesting, detailed education, and you will enjoy it, of his life, he and his wife with Smokey through the years. So I'm sorry, I don't recall how old Smokey is. I don't think she's midlife yet. So the third one is actually the first ones that I found, and their channel is Bird Tricks, all together, BIRDTRICKS, and you can type that in and you'll find the Womacs, Jamie, Lynn, and Dave. They have an extraordinary story, and I began following them a couple of years ago. They're professional bird trainers, and if you just jump on their channel, you will always get to learn something. They have a extensive flock now. They used to travel on cruises and entertain. He does some incredible illusion type of entertainment, which I don't think became during COVID. All of this, pretty much changed. So they have some husband and wife team. Actually, I believe she was still a teen when they got married. You'll find out some of those things as you watch. They're very open to share their experience, and it's time that I start wrapping this up. So I just want to encourage you in your education to be diligent. You don't have to think of it as education. Have a curious mindset, because you can do so much with training your macaw or African Grey. Those are the two I've really researched, because they're the most talkative, engaging, interactive creatures that I've found in the bird kingdom. So do it. Go for it. So we have Mackey the Macaw, kind of courageous, out there, England family. And we have Smokey, we're going to say more methodical, sort of more of a therapeutic type of problem solving, where it's very intentional, and he uses sessions to train her. He's got Smokey to where she's so on cue with everything. She's highly trained, loving, loves cuddles. I would say he's one intelligent, invested young man, and he's sharing what he does, and I appreciate that. The last one is who I started with, and I still follow them. They are so much fun. Bird Treks. It's Jamie, Lynn, and Dave Womack, and they provide so much support. If you go on their website, they do a lot of natural nutrition. They take very good care of their birds, and they guide people. They will do a consult with you. I don't know how they're doing with COVID, but they would go to the location if you wanted a one-on-one visit with their family and help with your bird. They take any type of problem bird. And Jamie Lynn's a lot of fun. Not that Dave is not. He is by his own right. But she has a real heart and compassion for helping birds through helping their owners to become more knowledgeable about how to read their behavior. And each year, I don't know if she's doing it this year, but normally she takes on, she calls it a problem bird, and has her following to send information. And one year it was 2 birds during the same time. They have a darling little daughter that's probably 1st grade now. I don't know, she could even be older. So you can learn a ton of information following them. I don't know how often they drop their videos. I would guess twice a week. Most of these 3 are very consistent, and they may not have the plan of certain days, which there's one more video couple that I've followed for a couple years now that I adore, and I think my mind slipped over to that. They're not bird trainers, but they're very unique in their own right, and you get the opportunity to learn quite a lot. So, free education, something that's interesting. I always have a goal, working toward a rewarding kind of lifestyle. It's easy to incorporate into any part of your life. If you're working 2 jobs or more than 40 hours a week, I do not recommend taking on a bird, especially a macaw, and training a bird. I don't think that's enough time devoted toward them. However, as a caveat, I will say they do enjoy a lot of high quality sleep and are so much better. They need a dark environment and somewhat warm. So during the winter, if it gets down to freezing as it had last week, we had to shuffle a few things for Aki. And I think we've gotten into a pattern so that she gets plenty of sleep. Sometimes she sleeps until 11 or 12 o'clock noon after going to bed, I would say 8:30 or 9. A very good night's sleep. If she does that, she loves lots of water, lots of healthy food, and then she loves to have some nuts. And she does great with her training, and then she's actually ready to go to bed. So we get our little routine going. We have quite a lot more that we do during the summer months, during the warm times. We spend a lot of time outside together, which I enjoy, and I know Aki enjoys it. And so, with that, I hope that gives you a few avenues of, hey, where do I go to get more information? If you're a parent and your child, say, fourth or fifth grade, even younger than that, you can find some channels that are geared toward their level. But it's not going to hurt anything for them to learn from someone who's quite a bit more advanced. They will probably not get all of it, but they're going to get some major keys that will always help them. So if you can check out those channels that are highly recommended, rather than sitting them in front of the TV, I am not a TV person. I grew up in a time period that many people just had it on. Go outside, TV's on, come back in, TV stays on all day. And kids can kind of zone out and watch. And I don't think that challenges the mind. I think that they need to struggle to learn, to figure out, and to ask those questions. YouTube provides that. YouTube provides a lot of other things that I don't highly recommend, which in the world, in the real world, they're going to have, kids are exposed to so much. But as parents, you have the ordained position of kind of guiding some of that and helping them to see some aspects of learning that are huge investments for their future. We want our next generation to be happy, healthy, engaged, learning, and also sharing what they've learned. So, with that, as an educator sharing kind of my heart and soul with you, I want to say goodbye to the friends. I love you guys. Until next time.